So I've already stated my sentiments on this fight with Shawn Porter and Danny Garcia. Uh, just to let you guys know, I've already gotten out of the way uh, Deontay Wilder and his up and coming fight. I've already done a video on Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence. I've already knocked that one out of the way. I'm knocking this one out of the way now, and I've already done Triple G and Canelo. So all of those videos are going to be posted real soon. I just don't know when I want to release them. Maybe around the time of the fights. But then, maybe the information in the video might not be as up to date as what's happening, before the fight. So I guess I'll release them a few days apart, just so you guys know that, I'm putting in work on this topic. But anyway, let's get to it. So, Danny Garcia, Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter is too wild for me. I've already said this before. I forget which video it was. You guys probably already, if you watched the whole thing, you heard me say this before. But Shawn Porter is too wild for me. He's not a boxer. He's not a guy that sets up things behind the jab. Maybe, by some haphazard, Kenny has gotten with him and worked on it. Worked on him setting things up behind the jab, putting together his combinations, maybe a lot of head movement. His defense will improve. His lateral movement will improve. He'll be able to fight from angles, things of that nature. I haven't seen him fight like that since I've been watching Shawn Porter. So he's a creature. We are all creatures of bad habit, and he has a lot of bad habits, man. He's not a guy that fatigues out early in the fight, but when he does, it's due to his own doing. He goes in there and he fights really wild. He puts his head down. He buries his head into his opponent's chest. He likes to smother his opponents up against the ropes a lot and throw wild shots and more like a Maidana, Marcos Maidana type of fighter. He likes to make things ugly. He said he had a football background, and I believe it, just watching him in there with virtually no real technique whatsoever. Can he throw a punch? Yeah, he can throw a punch. Can he hurt guys? Yeah, he can hurt guys. That's in any combat sport. Anybody can throw a punch and hurt somebody. I think would work with a boxing expert coach, a guy that can really shape him up, as far as, because he knows the basics, to getting around the ring. Obviously, he's won titles before, so he's not just a bum or anything like that. But technique-wise, he just doesn't have it, man, and that's what causes Shawn Porter to get into these long, drawn-out fights, and that's what causes him to lose decisions a lot, due to the fact that he's just not doing enough to impress the judges with what he's putting together in there, as far as his combination, his punch output, his punch placement, his ability to make guys miss, his ability to, defend, to cover up and make guys miss that way. Shawn Porter just doesn't do enough of those things to really impress a judge. So what he would have to do is go in there and make the other guy look extremely bad, make him look frustrated, make him look tired, make him throw off his game plan, or by some haphazard, knock him out. That's what he would have to do in order to win fights. So with that said, he's not going to beat Danny Garcia. Not that way. Unless, like I said, unless he can frustrate this guy to the point to where Danny Garcia is in there making mistakes. Danny Garcia is too tired to lift his arms and throw something of significance, then it's gonna end up being a 12-round decision if Shawn Porter fights this way. But that's if his opponent actually allows it to be that way. And with the way that Shawn Porter likes to fight, because he never looks the way that he looks in training camp on actual fight night. So uh, on fight night, I just think Danny Garcia is gonna catch him with something, man. Whether it's the left hook, whether it's a shot to the body, it's gonna be Danny Garcia is gonna catch him, and we've seen Danny Garcia up against opposition before, where guys tried to frustrate him and tried to force him to fight a fight that they believed that he wasn't capable of fighting. Um, they basically what I'm saying is people looked at Danny Garcia and especially earlier on in his career as being a punk. They felt like he was soft, like he couldn't fight. And we've seen this guy, time and time again get away with, some shots that people would say is lucky, but it's all timing in boxing. He times the shots, he sets the stuff up. These guys will put themselves in a compromising position to where Danny Garcia is able to catch him and hit him with that left hook and they gone. Either way, he still has to place that punch where it's supposed to go. It's never a sloppy shot. It's always clean when he throws it, and these guys are always knocked out when he lands it. So lands it in a place where he can actually knock these guys out. But Danny Garcia can put together some clean shots, some good combinations in there. He's not the fastest guy. He's not the flashiest guy. He's like a poor man's Mikey Garcia, in my opinion. Mikey Garcia is more of a well-around boxer than Danny because Danny Garcia likes to be flat foot versus Mikey Garcia, who kind of likes to bounce around and bounce on his toes. He doesn't move laterally, but he bounces on his toes and he comes forward, and sometimes he utilizes angles here and there. So I don't really see Danny Garcia using angles, but what he likes to do is turn his opponent a lot, and that's going to be tough for Porter, because Porter, in order to stay in front of Danny Garcia and then keep him where he wants to keep him in order to land his shots, he's gonna have to grab hold of Danny Garcia a lot in this fight, and it's gonna make for an ugly fight. It's gonna make for a frustrating fight. But Danny Garcia needs to utilize his jab, set up everything behind the jab, and use uppercuts, man. Use a lot of uppercuts on the inside and force Shawn Porter off of him. And be ready when he dives in, because we all know this guy likes to do his swim punching with his head down low. When he starts doing all of that stuff, be ready for the combination, for the flurries, on the inside, and just be ready to land that land hook or the uppercut. Those are going to be the two punches that's going to put Shawn Porter on his back. And even if he doesn't get knocked out, I can guarantee you he's going to get knocked down at least once in the fight. And when that happens, he's going to lose. And I think that after the fight, they're going to ask Danny Garcia, hey, who are you going up against next? Errol Spence just won his latest fight against Mikey Garcia, whatever the case may be. I believe Spence is going to win it, but, that fight is 50-50 to me. But either way, let's say Errol Spence wins. They're going to say, oh, well, Errol Spence won his fight. You won your fight. When are you guys going to get it on or what? And Danny Garcia is going to put whatever he's going to put out there for public consumption. But at the end of the day, he's going to be chasing the dollars, versus the high risk. And I think that he's going to get himself in the ring with Manny Pacquiao. That's what I believe. He's going to call out Manny Pacquiao, and Manny Pacquiao is going to accept, because that's easy pickings for him, in order to retain the title again. So, that's what I got, man, on Danny Garcia, Shawn Porter. Guys, hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you think, what you got, what you saw, or what you've seen in training camp from these guys, and what you think you're going to see on fight night. All right, man. I'm out of here. I'm not going to get too technical with this review. That's because it just doesn't call for one because we all know how Shawn Porter fights. Anyway, man, I'm out. Peace.